specific architecture. A new chapter on chapter number 23, domain
Yes, sir.
specific. What is
Domain
domain?
software.
Domain, for example, I have given one assignment to whom? For port management. So port management is for a domain for all the common ports. A very common, what are the commonality in the particular domain? So what type of architecture you should plan for that type of domain? So mostly there is some commonality we develop for one particular application, then we reuse them, the word reuse them for the other related applications. So that becomes the domain. So who had got the port management? The boy has read a lot in the meantime. Nirmal Panda. Nirmal is Siddharth came, so Nirmal didn't turn up. What type of good correlation with them? Eh? I'm not finding Nirmal. Just when I take a name blindly, I don't find him. It's sad. There's the advantage of remote class. With the advantage, the boys attack. Only 16 have come, 5 are moving in the street. Okay. That demotivates me. That demotivates. I don't find the pleasure. I open it before 5 minutes and check who are present, who are not present, how many conscious boys are there in my class. How many conscious boys are there in my class, but that type of consciousness I don't find. Anyway, so for example, to Nirmal, I had given the port management. For whom? For Somu, I had given the hotel management. I had asked him to check the number of hotels. Somu, how many hotels you saw for the Marriott? How many hotels? Somu.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How many hotels Marriott has globally?
Globally, I
Yeah.
didn't.
I didn't. Why? Why, sir, you are not hitting me hard? Huh? At this old age, you will tell. At this old age, you can me hard. You bring a cane to me, sir. I don't have interest to study. I'm cheating myself. I told you that day how many hotels Marriott has, how many hotels Tata has. So this type of disinterest, if you have in study, why did you join in my class? You should not have taken this subject. You tell to the HOD that we are cheats. I don't appreciate this type of mindset. This type of new areas I am given because this type of domain specific applications I am thinking to give. So hotel is a big domain. That day your good friend who Pratik told that Marriott has 7,484 hotels. So if you build up a software for one hotel, the similar modules are reused for different hotels, almost little bit of different. So the reuse. You have not started thinking in that line, Somu. Such a wrong boy I have got in my class. Eh? How many hotels are there in Taj? Sir, I have checked. These are the common things. You should speak out. I called Nirmal, he is absent. I called Somu, he is, sir, I was moving in the street. Very good answers. Eh? The same bad thoughts are killing your brains. So I lose my interest. Deba, you start. Deba,
Yes, sir.
you start.
Okay, sir. Last class we have covered, sir, the
Just 1 minute, Deba.
and the
Yeah,
mobility.
just Deba, just 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Just 1 minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I find Sharma is present, I think. Mahendra Kumar Sharma. Yes,
sir.
Mahendra, are you present?
Yes, sir, I am.
I am so lucky to get you, right?
Yes.
I'm very. You give answer, Padas. I'm so lucky. One day you show your face, the other day you hide your face.
No,
You
sir.
didn't ask. I called the name of Nirmal. I called the name of Somu. Sir, you are not telling my name. You didn't tell me. Sir, you are giving them the assignment. They are good boys. I am not a bad boy. Why don't you say that? I am a product of such a brilliant college. Why don't you speak that? You lack courage to speak that. You lack courage because your virus is killing you. I am giving assignment to others. You don't have any voice to speak out. Because you are present today, you are absent tomorrow. We are not sure whether how much concerned you are for this study. The same bad attitude prevails in your mind. From the day one, I am just watching you. You are very smart in giving answer. Very smart. So I lack interest. I lose interest to talk. I only talk to the boys who show their interest. Okay, they will start.
Last class we were talking about the deployment and mobility, the migration from one place to another. Okay, so how we are embedding the software in different locations of the hardware. Now we will be specifics with some particular domain of the software engineering, that is your DSSE. Okay, we will cover with the introduction part and we will cover a lot in this DSSE with some lunar. Now the objective here is to find the three lumpers here. The domain, business and technology are the three main objectives. Just like in a set theory, we have seen set A, set B, set C and how they are intersected each other. Here also we have in the DSSE domain, business and technology. Also their relationship with the product line, and DSSA domain specific software architecture as well as with their architecture style. First we have to study the lamppost of the domain, business, technology, three things, and the relationship with product lines, DSSA and the architectural style. Now in the domain-specific software engineering, the traditional view of software engineering shows us how to come up with solutions for problems from its inception, from the beginning. So how to manage the problem or how to come up with a solution? We are intended to bring a solution for a problem from its beginning, from its inception. But starting from scratch, every time it is impossible. But from the start, if we will look at or visualize it, we are facing something difficulties or scratch, and which is not feasible to proceed with or to move with. This will involve the reinventing many wheels. It will including with reinventing many wheels. Since we are not getting the solution with the existing. So always we are intended to provide some reinvention to get some good solution to our problem. Once we have built a number of systems that do similar things, we gain critical knowledge that let us exploit common solutions to common problems. So once number of systems are built, they do the same kind of things, and also we can get some critical knowledge which can exploit some common solutions for some particular common problems. In theoretical view, we can explain or we can simplify the building of the difference between the new target system and the system that have come before. We are just simplifying the solution or simplifying the difference between the two category of products or systems. That is the new target system which is coming up, which one we are previously using. Now, some domain with the problem space and how we are handling that problem space with the different application domain. And also we have some system family in that application domain to overcome the problem. The compilers for programming languages, the consumer for electronics, these are some examples. Some electronic commerce systems or e-commerce systems and web stores, the video games, business applications like their business basics, their standards, their professionals, everything. So these are some domains. And also we can subdivide avionic system. If we consider a system family, we can subdivide it with the Boeing jets, then with some specific model or specific name, Boeing 747 400. Okay, we can also subdivide the domain, just like the application domain in the figure. You can check the application divide domain is subdivided. The application domain here is the avionics system, of which in the system family it has the Boeing jet liner or Boeing jet airlines. Then in a specific system we have Boeing 747 400 model or number of the Boeing jet. So this domain also can be subdivided. Then some traditional software engineering. For our problem space, for some particular problem, we have a large number of solutions. So the solution space is always a bigger for the problem space for some particular problem. Just like you want to visualize this thing, our solution space and problem space. Problem space is a very specific or particular, and in which we have an innumerable ways to bring the solution or to get the solution. That is in the software, traditional software engineering. Now, with some architecture-based software engineering, we are dividing the solution space into different categories. If this type of problem arising, what should be its solution space or what should be its domain of solution? Previous one of the traditional ways. Randomly, we have lot of solution space for a particular problem. Here we are dividing the solution space. For a given single problem, we select a handful of potential architectural style. We are categorizing it. We are dividing it. And go from this into some specific implementations. This will help to move with the specific implementations which we desire for our solution, rather moving into a random direction. Rather moving with some random direction, it will provide a specific direction for the implementation to get the solution for the problem space. Now here, exact domain specific software engineering, very specific to the problem space. You just look in the previous figures, you just looked in the traditional one. The solution space is very large. Then in the architecture based trial, it is just categorized, also something large. But here in the DSSC, the solution space is very specific. And we map the region of the problem space into the domain specific software architecture, DSSA. These are specialized into application specific architectures, and these are also then implemented, that is associated with your problem space. Then we'll move towards the main three key factors just I discussed in the beginning of this class. That is your domain, technology, and business are three main lamp posts. How they are intersecting, and what is the hybrid solution providing for the domain specific software engineering system. Now the first one is domain. It must have a particular domain or domain to constrain the problem space and focus on the development. That is the main domain. And domain also can be subdivided, just previously I told. Technology. It must have a variety of technological solutions. What are the technological solutions? It should have the tools, their patterns, their policies, their architecture, styles, legacy system or policy, whatever there, to bring to bear on a domain. That will be more helpful to bear on a domain. So technology also required to provide a technological solution for a domain. Then business. This business goal motivate to use the domain specific business. Since our intention is to provide the business, to do business, and this will provide the motivation to use the DSS. How? Not by minimizing the cost. Business means to minimize the cost and maximizing the market. It is the main objective. You are providing something to your clients or customers. You always try to optimize the cost to get the benefits, minimize the cost, and your share should be larger in the market. That is to maximize the market. And to minimize the cost means by reusing the assets if it is possible, whether maximizing market to develop many related applications so that you will capture the market. You will keep it in your hand. You will keep in your control. The first one, domain. In your set theory, you have seen this type of combination of the solutions, set A, set B, C, and their supersets and their hybrid nature. Domain must have a domain to constrain the problem space and focus on the development. Okay, first is focus on the development and to constrain the problem space. Very specific, to make it very specific. Then the technology, it provides the tools, just before I told, it provides the tools, pattern, architectures, and some styles, legacy system for a technological solution in a domain. Then the next one is your business. And here objective is for the business goal that can encourage you, that can motivate you to use the DSSE. And it is by minimizing the costs with the reusing assets, if possible again, then maximizing the market share. By developing some new related applications for different kind of end users are the three key factors we are using: domain, business, and technology. Then we will consider one by one their hybrid nature: domain business, domain technology, technology business, and finally domain business and technology. Now, domain and business, it is the corporate core competencies. In that domain expertise, it is augmented by the business acumen and knowledge of market. A business acumen always in an aggressive mode to grow his business in the market share. So it is expertise in the augmented by the business acumen and the knowledge of market. If we have the domain and the business, these two key factors combinedly helps to increase the competencies. It will help us to understand the competencies. Next, domain and technology. It is technology means you are using some tools, patterns, constraints, legacy systems that will bring some technological solution, and domain will help to provide a specific domain. So it is the application of any family architecture and all possible technology solutions to problem in a particular domain. uninformed and unconstrained by the business goals and knowledge. It is uninformed and unconstrained with the business goals and knowledge. So it is providing the application family architecture with domain and technology. Now the business and technology. The business and technology. Here the domain is independent infrastructure. If you will consider you can check the arrow part, the business and technology part. Here the domain is completely absent. Means it is the infrastructure that is with domain independent. Tools and techniques for constructing the systems that is independent of any particular domain. That is the example of most generic architectural description languages, UMLs, compilers, word processors, general purpose species, etc. These are some examples with business and technology. Next one is the combination of the three key factors like your domain, business and technology. It applies to the technology for the domain specific goals. It is more commonly applied for any domain specific goals tempered by the business and market knowledge. It is also affected with the business, market knowledge and the technological solutions. The next one is the product line architecture. I just told in the beginning of this class. The relationship with the product line and the DSSA, domain specific software architecture. So with the three key factors, our objective is to move with the product line architectures. We are moving with the advancement in our product line. A specific related set of solutions with a border DSSC, and it is sharing the border of DSSC, domain specific software engineering. It more focuses on some commonalities and variability between the individual solutions. What are the common solutions and what are the individual solutions for any key factors, any individual key factors, it is emphasizes on it. Next, with becoming more concrete, applying domain specific software engineering means developing a set of artifacts more specific than an ordinary software architecture. So we are developing a set of artifacts that is designed by using our hands, more specific than our ordinary software architecture. It focuses on aspect of that domain. It focuses on the domain specific solutions, techniques, and also the patterns. These are a domain model and domain specific software architecture, DSS. Okay. So the next one is with your domain model. Okay. A domain model means this model is meant for some specific domain. It will provide the space for the problems with some specific areas or specific solutions it will provide. This domain model. A domain model is a set of artifacts. A set of artifacts that capture information about a domain. The functions performed in a domain model, it will be operated. Objects that perform the functions and their objectives are the nothing but the end entities or the individual entities. And on which the functions are performed, the data and information that flows through the system. So are the key components. These are the domain parts. In the domain, what will be elaborated, what are the functions performed, what objects or entities that perform the functions, and what are the data and information that flows through the system. It can standardize the terminology and the semantics of a specific problem. It provides the basics for standardizing descriptions of problems to be solved in the domain. Okay. So it provides some standardized terminology and semantics and also some standardized descriptions of any problems. Then here in a domain model, we have a domain dictionary. And in that domain dictionary, we have the information model, the feature model, and operational model. In information model, what the components or what the entities we have here in the information model, we have the content information diagram, entity relationship diagram, the semantic networks, and the object diagrams are the four entities or components in the information model. Okay. And in the domain model, we have again feature model. The feature model will describe the feature relationship diagram, use case diagram, and the representation model. And in the operational model, we have the data flow diagram. Just try to understand these things in the information model, what type of diagrams we have, in the feature model, what type of diagrams we have, and in the operational model, what type of diagrams we have in the domain model. The ultimate model is here the domain model, and in the domain model, what type of models are there and what type of diagrams are associated in what type of models. So in the operational model, we have data flow diagram, control flow diagram, and the state transition network. Okay, first thing, the domain dictionary. In your domain model, first we have the domain dictionary. It defines vocabulary for the domain. It has only the vocabulary, just like your dictionary has the words, and here we have the vocabulary for any specific solution of a particular domain. So it defines the vocabulary for the domain. Then in the information model, we have the entities and the data in the domain. What the entities and what are the data that are associated in the information model. And in the feature model, it defines how entities and data combines to provide the features. In the information model, we have the entities and data. This feature model will help to define the combination of entities with the data, with the feature relationship diagram, use case diagram, and the representation model. And the last one is your operational model, and it will define how data and control flow through the entities. It will define the procedure, how it is flowing through the entities. So three different models have three different roles. Like the dictionary is the vocabulary part, the information model has the data and the information part, and the feature model will provide the combination of data with other informations, and operational model will provide the proper procedure, how the data and control will flow for any domain model. Now, in your domain dictionary, lunar module, if you consider, this is the portion of the spacecraft, lunar module, LM. In your domain dictionary, it will define all the vocabularies, all the values. What are the values? Like what is A, what is altitude, what is velocity, time, what is the initial altitude, what is the final altitude, everything is there. So in this portion, in this means in our lunar module, in this portion of the spacecraft, that lands on the moon. It consists of two main parts, the ascent stage and the descent stage. How it will holds with the crew cabin, and the descent stage, how will land it, which contains the thrusters that uses the controlling the landing of the lunar module. So it uses the thrusters that will control the landing part of the lunar module, so that there will not be any crash while landing. Reaction Control System (RCS). It is a system on the lunar module that is responsible for the stabilization during the lunar space ascent or descent. Means when it is growing up or to coming down, and controls the spacecraft's orientation. It also controls the spacecraft orientation, that is your altitude. It will also define the altitude and motion during the maneuvers. So during its moves in this lunar space. Then the vertical velocity. For a free falling object with no air resistance, this ignores the rotation of the lunar surface. So if any object is falling freely and no air resistance is there, we are ignoring the rotation of the lunar surface. And this altitude is calculated by the notation y. Y is your altitude. It is half of your acceleration n time t2 plus vi plus t plus yi. Yi is your initial altitude and y is your altitude. So how to find the next altitude? So it is by calculating with the a t2 plus vi, t is your time, v is the velocity, is the acceleration, plus y, I is the initial altitude. A is the constant acceleration. So A is the acceleration, means it is the constant acceleration constant. Acceleration constant means velocity is 0. No, velocity is constant means acceleration is 0. So it is moving with some acceleration constant due to the gravity on a lunar body. T is the time in second, Vi is the initial velocity, and Y is the initial altitude when thrust is applied. Okay. Then the following equation can be derived in the next stage. Y equal to half of the A burner minus A gravity. With burning, what is the acceleration? And with gravity, what is the acceleration? So they are difference. Plus T2 plus VIT, VI cross T plus YI. So A burner is the constant acceleration for upward due to thrust, and A gravity, that the constant acceleration due to the gravity on the lunar. So their difference is calculated. Next part is our information model. The first one was your dictionary. Sorry, first one is our domain dictionary, then information model, feature model, and operational model. First one is your information model with entity relationship diagram. It defines the entities and cardinal relationship between all the informations. Also, it captures the aggregation and generalized relationship among all the entities within the domain. Two things it is operating with the entity relationship diagram. It defines the entities and the cardinal relationship between them, captures the aggregation and generalized relationship. Then, in the object diagram information model, it defines the attributes and operations on the entities. Close resembles class diagrams in the UML, but may not be more abstract. Identifies the objects in the application domain. So here the objects are the landing radar, descent engine, and the thrust engine. Altitudes are the altitude or velocity. For descent engine, it is throttle level or nozzle direction, and for thrust engine, it is the firing mode, altitude, translation, and their operations. For lunar landing radar, sense altitude, sense velocity. For descent engine, it is set throttle level, changing the nozzle direction, turn off or turn on. Then for thrust engine, set the firing mode to pulse or for continuing continuous change spacecraft altitude and change the spacecraft translation. Then the feature model, the feature relationship diagram, another component or another diagram in your feature model. This is in the landing phase, what is mandatory and what is optional we have to judge or to define. The mandatory parts. In the lunar lander, it must continuously read the altitude from the landing radar and relay that data to host with less than 500 milliseconds of latency. Astronauts must be able to control the descent of the lunar lander using manual control on the descent engine, and this descent engine must respond to control commands within 250 milliseconds with or without a functioning digital keyboard, a DSSY. Okay, so it is a display keyboard, it will show. And so it is a mandatory to continuously read the altitude from the landing lander and relay the data to host. So what is optional? The lunar lander provides the option to land automatically and allow the crew to manually steer the spacecraft. So this is a optional one. It is in the relationship diagram, feature relationship diagram. Then the next one, your quality requirements. In the real-time requirement, what are the real-time quality requirements? The thrusters and the descent engine must be able to respond to commands from the computer system in real time. Then fault tolerance. Lunar lander must be able to continue in its flight path even when the main computer system goes down. So this is your fault tolerance. Even if it is moving from its flight path, still it is managing with the computer system. Means once if also your computer system is going down, still it is moving with the flight path. Lunar lander must be able to maintain system altitude even when one of the thrusters and propellant supplies goes down in the reaction control system. So this is your fault tolerance. If any difficulty is occurring or any problems occurring, still it is also coming to its original path or original requirement very fast. It describes the overall mission operations of a system. Also it describes the major feature and decomposition. Next diagram in the feature model, use case diagram. These things already you have done in your lab, in your UML diagram. It defines the use case within the domain, the astronauts, and in the use case, what you have the set of things we have to follow. It is similar to a UML model. Select the auto or the manual navigation control. Select auto or manual throttle. And in the select auto or manual throttle, we have the set of descents on the set of altitude. Also set roll, pitch, yaw controls, get horizontal and vertical velocities, and get altitude. So this is your use case diagram that can be defined with your feature model. Now the final one is your representation diagram. Okay. In the representation diagram, it defines how information is presented to the human user or the end user, the final one who is visualizing how it looks like. So this is your informations are presented to the human user with a display keyboard unit, display and keyboard unit, DSKY unit. Okay, how it looks like. Okay. And their circuits it is given, how the program is predefined and what are the keys, everything is defined, mentioned here. The 3 5-digit registers, the 2-digit registers, the 70 predefined programs, and some with some commands, they are noun and verbs, 19 keys, and the warming lights, everything. So this is represented to the human user. Next one is your operational model. where we have the data flow diagram. It is in a software engineering, you already have done, just covering it here also. It focuses on the data flow between the entities with no notion of control. Although there is no notion of control, and how the data flow is occurring between the components. In the landing radar, that is your sensor. It will provide the altitude signal, and then it will calculate the burn rate, and burn rate Jimmy will the descendant engine with the burn rate. Then display altitude signal or enter the rate of descent will be given to the display keyboard, and thrusters reactions control system, which has the roll, yaw, pitch, everything, and ultimately at the end it will give the new roll, yaw, pitch, and their velocity. So anyway, here controller signals are flowing between the entities to provide the final solution. Then in the control diagram, data first one is your data flow, then your control flow. It focuses on the control flow between the entities that separate from data flow. It provides a control flow with PNGC, primary navigation, guidance, control computer, and also the RCS, reaction control system. The landing radar sensor altitude velocity. Their display will be provided with some PNGC, that is your primary navigation and guidance control computer. So it provides the control. Each auto navigation control is on, yes or no. We'll check the conditions. If yes, then it will move with the descent engine, make the adjustment to the lunar lander radar sensing altitude. Okay, so here some control measures are incorporated with your model. Now the state transition time from one state to another state, how it is changing. So from S1, the altitude, it is moving with the initial state. With S0 is your initial state. S1 is the lunar lander in the braking stage. Here it is in the braking stage. It is in between 7,600 feet altitude to less than 50,000 altitude and greater than 50,000 feet altitude. Then S2, lunar lander in the visible pitch. Okay, it is in between the 500 feet to the altitude is in between less than 500 feet and greater than 7,600 feet. The altitude is. And the S3, it is the lunar lander in the landing phase, and the altitude is in between 0 and 500 feet. Then S4 is the final step for the touchdown, and here the altitude is 0 feet, and the vertical velocity is less than 3.5 feet per second. And your S5 is the final state once it is crashed. And here the altitude is 0 feet, and also the vertical velocity is greater than 3.5 feet. So these are the two states, S4 and S5. S4 means it is just touching down his lander of the space, and S5 is the final state after crashing. Then it will be reversed back. S1 boundary may differ from different. So it will be reversed in every stage. It focuses on states of systems and transitions between them. It resembles UML state diagrams. Okay. Then some reference requirements. What are the mandatory requirements? What are the optional requirements with their variables? Mandatory, it must display the current status of the lunar lander. That is the horizontal and vertical velocities, their altitude, and the remaining fuel availability. It must indicate the points that is earned by player based on quality of lending. It must indicate the points according to the quality of lending. Optional is may display the time elapsed. What is the time slot? It may display or not. What are the variants? It may have different levels of difficulties based on the pilot experience. Novice, expert, etc. So these are some levels of difficulties according to the pilot experience. May have different types of input depending on the weather. Whether by looking into the weather condition, auto navigation is enabled or auto throttle is enabled or not, may have to land on different celestial bodies. Also, we have to land on some different celestial bodies like Moon, Mars, Jupiter, moons, asteroids, everything. Then, the domain specific software architecture. Previous one is your domain model. First, we are discussing about it. The domain model, then their information model, the feature model, and operational model. Everything we discuss. Okay, and with some different type of diagrams. After domain model, we have DSSA, domain specific architecture. It is a reference architecture which describes a general computational framework for a significant domain of applications. It is used for some significant domain, some very specific domain application. It is a component library which contains the reusable chunks of domain expertise. So it also has some component library that uses a chunks of reusability of any domain expertise. And it is an application configuration method for selecting and configuring the components within the architecture to meet particular application requirements. Then, reference architecture. Reference architecture is the set of principal design decisions. It is a set of PDDs and that are simultaneously applicable to multiple related systems, and it is typically within an application domain with explicitly defined point of variations. Then the reference architectures are still the architecture since they are also a set of principal design decisions. The reference architecture, what it is saying, the different reference architectures are also the same architecture only, because it is a set of PDDs, principal design decisions. This is distinguished by the presence of explicit points of variation, explicitly on-made decisions. Okay, so it is also distinguished by some explicit point of variations. Then different kind of reference architecture. First, the complete single product architecture. It is a fully worked out assembler of a system in a domain with optional documentation as to how to diversify. Okay, so different kinds are the complete single architecture, incomplete one, and invariant. Three variety you can check here: the complete single product architecture, the incomplete variant architecture, and the invariant. First one is with a working with in a full mode, in a full phased mode, a full worked out exemplar of a system in a domain. It can be relatively weak due to the lack of explicit guidance and the possibility of the example is a toy example. Toy example is a complete single product architecture. Then incomplete one, incomplete variant architecture. The point of commonalities is it in ordinary architecture. It points on variation are indicates but omitted. The point of commonalities is in ordinary architecture. It points of variation that are indicated in the architecture but omitted since it is a incomplete invariant architecture. Then the invariant architecture with explicit variation. It is the point. These are the points of commonalities. As in ordinary architecture, the specific variations are indicated and enumerated. So three varieties of reference architectures we are using: complete single product architecture, incomplete invariant architecture, and invariant architecture with explicit variations. Some example: the structural view of any lunar lander domain specific architecture. Here we have the satellite, the ground uplink, the lunar lander, and the ground. In the lunar lander, you can check all the components are interconnected through the medullary bus, a event bus connector. Okay, and it is connected with your ground link, where we are controlling with the space link and the IP stack. And in the ground station, also there is a middle bus that is connecting with the components like telemetry processing, lunar lander monitor, and ground console. So we are just doing a referential architecture, like your ground station and how you are managing with the space link in the lunar lander. Okay. So this is an example of how we are very specific towards our problem space. How it is a domain specific, how it is providing some domain specific solutions for a problem space. Will be very precise area for the solutions. A traditional one, in the traditional we have a large area of solutions. Okay, and here we have some specific areas. Next one.
Okay, Deba, just give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Uh, this chapter covered on domain specific to a domain. Domain means in a larger related areas. Related. For example, steel sector. In India, we have so many steel plants. So many. How many? One at Bokaro, one at where? Vizag, one at Salem, one at Rourkela, so one at Durgapur. So I want to build a software for the blast furnace of these steel plants. So that becomes a domain. So likewise, I want to build a software for all the ports: Calcutta, Paradip, Vizag, Chennai, and Cochin, then Goa, then Bombay, then what is that port in Gujarat? Something. So many ports are there. So what I do, I build a software which is common to the domain. Then I start identifying the sub areas and develop a software for individual one. So what it did, it first identified a reference architecture. Reference means in a very broad way. What are the invariant points it identified? Just you see, the last architecture is the same as architecture, but in a very broad way, very broad way. What are the major components I am going to keep? What are the major connectivity between the components or different sectors? Then for each smaller portion, I identify that with UML diagram starting with use case, then DFD, data flow diagram, then how the control is flowing, control flow diagram, CFD, then how the states are changing. So it's a state chart diagram. So you see, whatever the study you have done, all are coming into the picture. All are coming into the picture. And here, in this particular lunar lander, there is a big role of LTSA. There's a big role of LTSA. So what we mean to say is, All these precautions we take. Why? Because we develop a software in a systematic way. The LTSA, whatever you read in the last lab class, whatever Ingole Bhaiya has told you very, very, very accurately, that LTSA, do this, the conditions, whatever you do, the different guard conditions using LTSA. A very good example of application for this lunar lander. So you go on applying whatever you have read. You see UML, then first reference architecture, then for each block you are applying UML, use case, then you are applying DFD, data flow diagram, and the CFD. Just you see, everything are coming into coming for your help. Then CFD, then the state chart diagram, then the after state chart, different type of models like LTSA, the CSP. Somebody has to explain CSP. I have given the assignment. Next week we will be discussing that CSP. I hope I will be able to make you free everything by next week, and we can discuss some of the applications like Nutella, Skype. We have not yet discussed. So my target is to finish up as early as possible, so that we have to discuss something which are really helpful, really helpful. Anyway, so if I go on talking, then time runs by. Okay, Deba. So shall we start the next chapter a little bit? Deba. 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 Deba.
Yes, sir, I'm online. Automatically it is muted.
Acha, okay.
So
Just
here,
see what is the next
in
chapter?
24, sir, we have the relationship between the product lines. Just now we finished the domain model, then we just finished the domain specific software architecture. Then we have the relationship in between the DSSA, the architectural style, and the product line. It's something really large one. It's covered too much. Less number of sites are there.
No, time is running by. I have to make some presentation. They have not yet done any presentation. Not yet. Just how many slides are there? Just go to, open that chapter. Open that.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Open that. Product line. This is a domain specific. For a domain, then that's a product line. Product line, do you remember that Koala and other related TVs and the Philips started developing product line?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
34 slides are there.
Just little bit you cover, little bit, 10 slides you cover, basic things.
Yes,
Initial.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, okay, here we have the domain specific software architecture and the product lines. How we are moving from the ancient to the advanced one, historical to or the old to new through the product lines. How according to our requirement. Now this slide already we covered in your first PPT. Here it is a repeat of that. Okay, we are directly coming to the product lines. It is a set of related products that have some substantial commonalities. Product means these products are very related and some commonalities are there. In general, the commonality exists at the architecture level. Where the commonality exists, where the similarity exists, now in the architecture level. And we are just advancing with it. One potential silver bullet of software engineering power through the reuse of silver bullet, which will bring all the solutions, but originality is not present. Just sir already told about the pewter. Alloy. A alloy of bullet that is used. A story is also there, sir will tell.
Yeah. Silver bullet was used to kill the werewolf. That story I had told, na? Yes, so sir. What it says, There is no silver bullet in
There is
software engineering. What it means? There is no exact clear-cut guideline to develop a software. It depends on your convenience. There are 101. You will find everywhere there are 101 different methods to build a software. So there is no silver bullet. But in that story, a silver bullet is needed to kill the werewolf.
so
Mostly our bullets are of pewter category. Pewter means alloy of different metals, something like lead, tin, iron, something. Pewter bullet. Our bullets, whatever we use in the gun, are called pewter bullets. Okay.
okay, so that is the one potential silver bullet of any software engineering. That is the power through which we can go for the reuse of the knowledge engineering or engineering knowledge, existing product architectures, the styles, patterns, pre-existing software components and connectors. So there is no, just sir told, there is no exact software, but if we don't have that also, it is difficult to get our requirement. Then domain with the product lines. The domains are in the problem space. Product lines are in the solution space. Domain and product line. Domain, our consumer electronics, the avionics, the compilers, video games, these are the domains. They are product lines. The Sony Vega TV. For avionics, we have the Boeing 747 family. The compilers for GNU compiler set, the video game suite of the games built on same engine.
What is, again please, just what is avionics? Boys, you tell. What is avionics? Siddharth, what is avionics?
Aeronautical.
So it is electronic systems that have been used in like in planes and all, and planes and satellites and all for the navigation purpose.
Yeah. So
Aeronautical.
it says that it is a domain. Domain in avionics means how the electronic systems were being used in earlier model of different aircrafts, and how things are slowly changing. So that is the domain of electronic systems. When the initial aircrafts were initiated, what type of electronic systems were being used, then how things are changing. Nowadays, what type of avionics are being used, how it was there earlier, slowly things are improving. So this is the domain of avionics, means domain of various electronic systems, how they are dependent on the software based application in the present day scenario. Okay, Deba. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Then business versus engineering product line. Product line and engineering product line. Engineering product line means some technological solutions are there in your product line. Some engineering knowledges are there in your product. Then the business product line, it is a set of products marketed under a common banner to increase the sales and market penetration through bundling and integration. Okay, so here it is a set of products.
Sir, you are not audible.
Deba.
Automatic.
Sister
Yes,
is
sir.
giving. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we are just talking
Sister
about
is
the
giving
business product line and engineering product line. Engineering product line, business, just I told, in a common manner, we are increasing our sale by entering or pushing into the market. And in your engineering product line, It is from some technical background or some engineering knowledge are incorporated or associated with your product line. Generally, business product lines are the engineering product lines and vice versa, but not always. Applications bundled after a company acquisition. Chrysler, Crossfire, Mercedes SLK V6. So these are with some engineering product lines that is associated. Now, in a traditional software engineering, the business notification of any product line. Okay, expense to create a product and a complete income from selling the product. With the diagram for time and money, you can see. So here you have to invest in your, you have to expense to create a product. You have to give your time. Then income in a later stage. Simultaneously, you might not. After it, you have to create, you have to invest from your own pocket. You have to go for a loan, whatever. Then income will be in the later stage. So here the business motivation for any product line, expense to create a product. Okay, in a traditional line, and here in a series way or in a sequential way. Let we have n type of products. Here two products are given. One product expense, then product one income. So that it will be there in your hand. Only if only one product you are creating, then it will give you the income, but it is not in a simultaneous way. Here the products you are expanding for the products, product one, product two, and by the meantime also you are earning for it. So it is in a sequential way. Product one expense, then income, then you are developing the product two, you are expanding for it, and for product two you are gaining for it, so that you will get the benefit. Otherwise you have to initially invest a lot if you only providing only one product. Now with the product line based engineering, you can check here in the product one, while also expanding once you have to expand a larger, then simultaneously in this product expense also you can earn in the by the product line, because there are some commonalities in your architecture and you are adding some new features to the architecture, and one from the earlier you have to invest, then once you are adding with new feature you will start incoming. Then in the product to expense you are adding new feature, very few amount you are expanding, and also your income is larger. So this is the product line with money and time, how you are increasing your money with time. So capturing product line architectures. Here the common is the feature to common all products. Here we are just combining the features of A, B and a common. Common means here we are combining the features for all products. A is the feature specific to a product A. B is the feature that is specific to product B. Product A is your common feature plus feature of A. Product B is the common features and the feature of B. How they are combined here. For the common features for A and B, A and the common features, and the common features for B and the common features. Then a product line architecture definition. A product line architecture captures the architectures of many related products simultaneously. Okay, so it captures the architectures with all the related products simultaneously which are related to your architecture. That will capture simultaneously. Generally, it employs the explicit variation points in the architecture that indicates where the design decisions may diverge from one product to another product.
So here a word comes, variation point. Variation point, where things are
move,
changing.
you can divert.
You can divert. divert from product A to product B. Product A to product B. For example, varieties of cars are coming up by Maruti. So Maruti is bringing out varieties of cars. Initial model was Maruti 800. Then it moved towards a little bit other model to Wagoner or something. I don't know much about it. So product A was Maruti 800. Then it moved towards Wagoner or something. So what are the variation points where little bit of change if you make, then you go for a second product. So you have to identify where the variation points are there in a product line. In a product line, what are the variation points? So you keep in mind. So you have, when you are going for a product line, you have to identify where the variation points occur. If I make little bit of change in that point, then I get another product. Okay, that's called a product line architecture, where we give thrust on the variation points. Okay, 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 okay. We'll close it. We'll close it today. We'll close it today. So we'll talk tomorrow. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. If you take interest, I'm there to tell a lot about the avionics, about the Maruti car, but you have to show interest. If you take interest, I am there. Okay, okay, Deva. Because you are in a distance mode, I am not able to put pressure on you. Okay, okay, Deva. Close it down. Take the attendance. Nirmal, why are you delayed today? What helped? What made you so much delay? Why you are irregular in coming to class?
Sir, today there was network issue. Sir, I joined late by 5 minutes.
You
I
have
was
to
there at
come
4:20.
before 5 minutes. That's the Indian attitude. They always get the blame in any outside conferences. Wherever the Indians are there, they come after 5 minutes. This slackness. The typical, nobody will tell me anything. Everybody will excuse me. So keep it in mind, before 5 minutes, you have to stand before the class or any assignment or anything. Because we Indians are having very bad name that 2/3 of the Indians are slack, careless, casual. So you are the boys who have to save our country by having good cultural changes. Okay, then. I don't want to catch all the thieves, just randomly. Yes, yes, all are present? 19 are present, all are present, right? Yeah.
All are set. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I
And
was
sir,
happy to see Rishabh Soni.
Wasim Guler is not a regular one.
He has left, I think. He has Asim and this what's a Gutturi. Gutturi is absent. Gutturi, na?
Yes, sir.
Gutturi, yeah, Gutturi, yeah. Gutturi Achyut is absent. Gutturi and Asim they have left or something like that. Maybe. And Gutturi was keen for a job only from the day one. He was expecting a job so that he won't have to read. Anyway. Okay. So we'll have the class tomorrow. This is a theoretical class, but you have to read by yourself. You have to make a note by your what is a reference architecture, how does the state chart diagram helps, how does the CSP helps, how does the pie chart help, the pie calculus helps. So these are the questions will be coming. This is a theoretical paper. Don't think that there is no mathematics, so we will not study it. पढ़ के एग्जाम का पहला दिन लिख लेंगे. ये जो एटीट्यूड है इससे हटाओ. इसीलिए 68% of the software fell because of the bad attitude. They don't identify what is the requirements of the software. Okay, Debo will be having class at tomorrow at 4:15. Okay, Debo. Okay.
Yes.
Bye. I'm quitting. Okay.